Alright, Christmas and the holidays, they're almost here, and I thought, what better time to do a desk tour? You see, we pretty regularly get asked what we actually use right here in the office, and since these items are quite a bit cheaper than buying a laptop, I thought they may make some pretty good gift ideas, whether you're buying for yourself or friends and family. As usual, everything I talk about today will be linked down below the video if you do want to purchase one. Now, the way we work is with a laptop plugged into an external monitor. I've talked about this before, but one of the unique things about how we review laptops is we actually use them. Hopefully this means we find out stuff that perhaps others don't, like does the laptop get uncomfortably warm to the touch when actually using it? Does it blow hot air on your mouse hand? You guys get the point. Anyway, this setup, it gives us maximum productivity while plugged in, yet we can just unplug the laptop and take it with us, or we can easily switch laptops, which we obviously do all the time. So let's start with the keyboard. Everyone but me uses their laptop's keyboard. Now, the reason I sometimes use an external keyboard, not all the time but sometimes, is because I just easily mispress keys. And believe me, the team gets so sick of me swearing when I press the wrong key or my typos. Look, in my defense, I switch laptops all the time, and changing keyboard layouts just really gets to me. So when I need to just put my head down and really grind out a script, I reach for my Razer Huntsman V2. I've used a ton of mechanical keyboards before, and I really like this one. It's my favorite by far, seriously. I like its switches, and I like how small it is. I use the 10 keyless version. I find TKL keyboards, they just look much cleaner on the desk, and I never use number pads. If you are looking for an alternate recommendation, I actually really like the GX Blue clicky switches on Logitech's gaming keyboards. Those two sound a little louder, at least to my ears. I find Razer's purple switches less disruptive. They are optical, by the way, those purple ones, so they feel almost as clicky as blue switches, but they aren't as loud. For mice, everyone gets to choose their own. I personally use the Logitech G705, which I am stupidly obsessed with, guys. I actually have 3 of them. I have one at the office, one at my home, and one in my backpack. No matter where I go, I need to bring my G705 with me. It just fits really well in my hand. I tend to find gaming mice, they're either too large for me or too small. The G705, it just hits that sweet spot. Plus, it looks really cool in its white color, its battery, it lasts a really long time, yet the mouse is still pretty lightweight. And by the way, it does support both Bluetooth and Logitech's proprietary wireless connection. Now, Tony uses the MX Master 4, which he really likes a lot. He told me it just fits really well in his hand and he likes using all its buttons. He actually customizes what each one does for each application he uses. Sierra uses the Logitech G502 Lightspeed. She wanted a gaming mouse as we do game testing here, and she wanted one that she could change the DPI on and its weight. Ethan and Seth, they actually use their laptops' trackpads. Funnily enough, both their laptops of choice have haptic ones, so it really doesn't surprise me as haptic trackpads, they're more accurate and they feel more natural than mechanical ones. If you want to know what laptops they use, well, Ethan he uses the MacBook Air and Seth uses the ThinkPad X915. By the way, we've already done a video on the laptops we use and I will post a link to it down below. It's a fun watch, go check it out. For monitors, we use Alienware's 32-inch curved OLED displays, model number AW3225QF. What a mouthful. Anyway, these monitors are awesome, absolutely awesome. Incredible picture quality, 4K resolution, 240Hz refresh rate, super fast gray-to-gray response times, and G-Sync. We originally asked Dell to send us these to test Thunderbolt 5 docks. Basically, we needed some high-resolution, fast refresh rate monitors to test whether the docks could drive more than Thunderbolt 4. Anyway, we ended up liking these monitors so much that we just never returned them to Dell. Don't tell Dell about it though, I really don't want to send them back. Anyway, we also use LG's 27-inch 4K 60Hz displays, model 27UP850. These are basically fairly inexpensive high-quality monitors. We use them as second screens to review videos where their 60Hz limitation just doesn't really matter. We also use them in our filming room so we can monitor ourselves. I've got one right here off to the side. Anyway, for people who like really crisp displays, 4K spread across a 27-inch display, it's about as pixel dense as you're going to get for an external monitor, so content looks nice and crisp. Anyway, another benefit of these LG displays is that you can use a single USB-C cable for everything, charging your laptop up to 90 watts, setting the monitor's DisplayPort signal out, and as a USB hub. So you can really just plug everything into the monitor and just use one cable instead of needing a dock. It's a really clean setup. That being said, I did have grounding issues when I plugged my speakers into the audio port on the display. There was this low hum. So that's a good reason to talk about the docks and the audio equipment we actually use. Now, not everyone here needs a dock and audio equipment, but for those who do, we use Ugreen docks. Our favourite one is their Thunderbolt 4 Revo Dock Max 213. These look really minimal and stylish on your desk. They have plenty of ports including fast 2.5 gig Ethernet and both full-sized and microSD card readers. I really like, by the way, how it has both USB-A and USB-C accessible on the front of the dock as well as the back. Some of these docks only have one port type on one side, which can just be annoying. We also have Ugreen's newer Thunderbolt 5 dock, but I actually prefer the Thunderbolt 4 one. You see, the newer one, it replaces the DisplayPort on the back with another USB-C port, so you have to use USB to DisplayPort cables or USB to HDMI cables, that's to connect to a monitor. I don't think a lot of people have those cables, we certainly don't. Also, the new one has this kind of orange-coloured heatsink, which is a bit of an eyesore. And it costs $100 more. So unless you truly need the capabilities of Thunderbolt 5, which I promise you most of you don't, save your money and get the Thunderbolt 4 one. Now, we also have some Anker Thunderbolt 5 docks, which they did send us for a sponsored spot in one of our videos. But unfortunately, we had to reject them. Their docks just weren't great. They were big and bulky compared to Ugreen's, as they do include the power supply in the dock itself, so no need for a separate power brick. Some people like Seth, they really like this, I personally don't. The power brick, it's hidden underneath the desk anyway, so I prefer the dock to be smaller. Now, that wasn't the biggest issue with their docks though, and it wasn't the reason why we rejected them. The reason was we just couldn't reliably get multiple high-resolution monitors to work at the proper refresh rate. Look, I just wanted to talk about this so you guys know we're not picking Ugreen just because they sponsored us in the past. Anker tried to sponsor us too. We really do our due diligence, guys, about what products we recommend, and we really just don't peddle everything under the sun like I know a lot of YouTubers do. Alright, for those of us who do video editing, we use the Scarlett 2i2 4th Gen audio interface. It's a high quality audio interface that keeps our cables neatly out of the way. Speakers connect to the rear and our headphones to the front. Just a little note, I did get some really bad grounding issues when I used the Scarlett with the Asus G700 desktop. I had to buy a special audio isolator to solve the issue. I'll link the one I bought down below. When I used it with a laptop though, we've used this, by the way, with many laptops. We haven't had any grounding issues at all. For headphones, we use Beyerdynamic DT770 Pro at 32 ohms. These are very light headphones for high-quality audio monitoring. They're pretty much the industry standard. For speakers, we've gone a different path from the industry. Instead of using the Yamaha HS speakers, we've gone with the Mackie MR524s. I've listened to both extensively, and I personally just like the sound of the Mackie better. I find it ever so slightly more vibrant. Yes, guys, I know audio engineers monitor speakers, they're supposed to sound flat, but I kind of want to enjoy listening to them too. For those who do web conferences, which is pretty much just me, maybe Sierra, I use the Logitech MX Brio. It does a phenomenal job of dealing with challenging exposure issues. In my office, I sit right in front of a window, which would be the death of most webcams, but the MX Brio, it handles that situation really well. It also has a very wide field of view, which is great for doing team meetings. Now, Sierra wanted me to mention that she doesn't use an external webcam, as the one in her ThinkPad X914 is already phenomenal. She thinks it is the best webcam in a Windows laptop. The last items I want to mention are our Ugreen Nexode power bank and our Nexode charging station. These are these two right here. The power bank, which is this one, it's essentially a 20,000 milliamp hour battery that you can place your phone on to fast charge it. It angles the phone towards you so you can see it while it's charging. It works in both landscape and portrait mode, and it does use MagSafe, so it's technically for iPhones. It does work on other phones too, we've tested that, but you do lose some of its functionality as you do have to lay them flat. Guys, I cannot speak high enough about this device. Seriously, it is so popular here. You wouldn't think it would be that popular, but it is. It's just really useful. Say you're washing up at the sink. Your phone's out of battery, you want to charge it, but you kind of want to watch a YouTube video while you're washing up. You can just pick this up, place it by the sink, angle your phone towards you. Now, the charging station, it's kind of a mini version without a battery. It's basically a 100-watt fast charger that angles your phone towards you just like the other one does, and it has a bunch of other charging ports. Several of us in the office do use it and really like it. Also, just a reminder once again, this video, it's not sponsored by Ugreen, we just really like their products. Alright, that's all I got for you. As I said, links down below the video. Now, if you are in the market to buy a laptop though, then definitely check out our website bestlaptop.deals. Over there we list all the laptops we recommend for various types of use cases. It makes it really easy to find the right laptop. We also track prices right across retailers so you can tell which one's offering the best deal. And you can even see from our price tracker when is the best time to buy. Anyway, like, subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help us grow so we can make more videos for you. Till next time, go do something awesome with your day, as I always said, and I hope you're having a nice holiday break this holiday season. I'll catch you later. Josh out.